guys are doing great. Keep it up, y'all. Keep it up. You so laugh about everybody that was hanging out, but now you don't talk so loud. You don't seem so proud about.
All right, here we are. We're just coming up on the top of the Colster Range, up 9, looking down over the valley that we started at earlier. And I'll sure tell you, it's been quite a climb today. Trying to make it, that's where we started, down there at that valley. And now we're trying to get over to the other side, down to Santa Cruz. So this part of the movie is all about California. We started out from San Francisco and we worked our way down the Pacific Coast Highway to San Luis Obispo. From there we cut inland towards Bakersfield and then through the Mojave Desert, eventually coming to Needles, California. Needles was 116 one day and was without a doubt the hottest part of the trip. So it was really quite an adventure in California. Saw a lot of different scenery. We just did a 1,500-foot climb in the Mojave Desert heat. My mouth is so dry, I feel like I've been smoking cigarettes for 20 years. Yeah. There was a night where we camped out with people on the beach. A night camped out in the area around Big Sur. Nights with some friends in San Luis Obispo. Night with a Spanish-speaking fellow in Bakersfield. Night in Tehachapi. But I really want to touch on one night, which was actually the first night of the trip, which was in the redwoods near Santa Cruz with Neil and Radiant. And this conversation goes into health and spirituality and well-being and just community. And so for this portion of the film, I mainly want to focus on that wonderful campside, fireside conversation we had. So I hope you enjoy.
All sorts of farms, they just get wiped out. The small farms lost because it's basically a numbers game. How many acres you can farm.
Right, right.
You know, it's scary what's happened to our country. You know, so much financially based. You know, we used to have victory gardens. You know, it's all. The whole gas thing, you know, I mean, Carter freaking had, you know, the average miles per gallon was 35.
Right.
And when he was, you know, it was in the 80s. What the hell? Where are we at now? You know, it's not even, the average isn't even close to that.
Right.
And it's like this blindness that we're, you know, who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Finally got a fire.
So anyways, yeah, so a lot of things people do, they take them and they're really not good for you. And a lot of people eat things they're actually intolerant of. I loved pizza and bread, and I was a carb junkie when I was a young kid eating cereal. And what was happening was the fungus got out of control, started at the cellular level, got into the blood, circulates through the body. And then the fungus, the byproduct of the fungus is actually a mycotoxin that's toxic to the body.
Wow.
And then they need to eat, so they colonize.
Come here, stay.
They end up colonizing, and then they end up eating my food. So my food that I'm eating, that's one of the reasons I'm so skinny, is because I've just come over, you know, I've been gluten intolerant and they were eating my food.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had brain fog.
Wow.
And I just thought it was motherhood. I'm 44, I have a baby, you know, I'm tired, I'm nursing every night. And it's really that I had a food allergy, and so, you know, I had no other symptoms.
but it's really, especially where we live,
Yeah.
it's really hard to find
That's what I was
where
wondering.
you can trust your food, because
Yeah.
we can go to Whole Foods, but that's our best bet. But you don't know, like, if they're importing food from China and they're telling you it's organic, but what are they doing in China? You don't know what their laws of organic are.
Yeah.
So then you're stuck in this.
Yeah, is there like organic, genetically modified corn or
genetically
something?
modified is the big thing I really don't
That's
like.
what I'm afraid of, yeah.
And because we're doing these things with the DNA and we don't really understand DNA that much, so we're adding all these things to it, and
yeah, and the effects can be very
Yeah, you don't want to mess with God. You know.
I mean, it's just they're building blocks that you don't know what you're doing. And so when you mix A and B, you don't just get C, you get C, D, E, F, and G. Yeah. You know, but then in all different directions. This girl did an experiment of taking 2 cups of water, microwaving one, then putting them both in the fridge, doing it overnight, and then watering seeds. And what she found is that the seeds that were microwaved, or the water that was microwaved, the seeds didn't sprout. And I want to do that experiment.
Yeah, the plant just basically died that was being watered with microwaved water.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think.
And you think of all the people that are sticking their tea in their water in the microwave to warm up their tea. I mean, a lot of people do. They just don't either know any better. They don't think, oh, it can't really be harmful. But, you know, what I've always heard from many people about cancer is they say, and it's also like celiac disease. Look, celiac, it's a progressive disease. It's not like you're born with it. It's like it happens over time. You know, like if I kept going down the path with my gluten intolerance, even though 2 years ago I had it tested and it was negative, you know, in 5 years from now I might have tested positive for celiac disease. You know, it's like cancer. It's not like you just one day get cancer. No, you've been making poor food choices. Drinking sodas, having negative thoughts about yourself, not loving yourself, and putting a lot of acidic things in your body, and you know, cancer only thrives with a lack of oxygen and in an acidic state. And so if you change the terrain, you know, like we were talking about Bruce Lipton, you change the environment, and then the cancer can no longer. It can't exist. It's like you shine light on something, it can't exist anymore.
So do you think, because emotions play a really big role in disease, and there's a lot of theories, you know, like if you're happy and all your thoughts are positive, like you can't, it's not a conducive environment to get sick. So do you think your emotions, that probably affects like the physical state, you know, the physical environment in your body too? Absolutely. Because like I knew someone that was a raw foodist, and I remember her getting some form of cancer, ovarian cancer, whatever, and she died. Everybody was like, wow, she was a raw foodist. But you know what? I knew her personal life. I knew enough about her personal life that, you know, she still had a lot of emotional issues. Right. And, you know, I mean, our emotions, we could be prisoners to our emotions if we don't love ourselves, or if we... You know, if we believe everything that other people tell us when it's just their projections onto us, and we think that's true, life can be a real yo-yo, you know?
I mean, in chiropractic school, I saw this psych video that totally tripped me out, where multiple personality people will be in one personality and they have diabetes, and then insulin dependent, and then the other one won't. So one will go into insulin shock if it gets the insulin, and have to go to the hospital, where the other one, you know, needs it.
That's really interesting.
Not only that, but one will have 20/20 vision, where the other one needs bifocals. One will have high blood pressure. It's like totally documented. It shows so much how your mind relates to what your psyche is. You guys ever heard of the idea that maybe we're just receptors? That your pineal gland is a crystal. There's a crystal inside your pineal gland, which is right in the center of your head, and that maybe you're just receiving a radio signal or a signal into your pineal gland, which partly is your expression.
Huh. Another interesting thing about the pineal gland, and this just came to me like through intuition, but I was watching a video on YouTube, and they were talking about the pineal gland is like 80% water, and I'm like, when I drink an ounce of this alkaline living water, the Kangen water, per pound of body weight, like most people don't drink that much water. Like I'm 120 pounds, 128 ounces in a gallon of water, so I roughly need to be drinking a gallon of water a day. That's kind of a lot of water. Most people are drinking maybe, 3 or 4 glasses, 12-ounce cups or something. But what I find is when I drink 1 ounce per pound of body weight, something shifts spiritually. Like I get euphoric on the water. Totally. And so what I figured was what must be happening is that pineal gland is getting saturated with that water. And that water is this alkaline hexagonal crystal water, which is what we're supposed to be drinking, not all this bottled filtered crap with lye chemicals added to make it more alkaline so it doesn't rust the pipes and all the other crap that's in our water. It's dead water. I mean, water was supposed to go down mountain streams and crevices, and there's this life force in the water. What do? We put water in straight pipes. Reverse osmosis takes everything out of the water, and people are thinking that's the water to drink. It's actually dead water. Where most people are giving their plants Miracle-Gro. Well, Miracle-Gro actually kills the beneficial biology in the soil, and people are totally oblivious to it.
Yeah.
They're putting in fake lawns. They're putting in these plastic lawns saying, oh, this is a sustainable thing to do. Well, what happens in 15 years when the damn lawn's got to go to the landfill? And all the soil underneath it is dead because it wasn't getting any oxygen.
And what an awesome feeling it is that you're working 100% with nature and the way it was intended. Why, forests grow perfectly well, wetlands grow perfectly well, and then now we're doing cookbook farming. It's like it's not chemistry, it's biology. It's yeah, the feeling when you're using natural products to put into the ground and then come food, rather than separating things out chemically and then killing the whole soil. This soil is a living thing, just like
nobody looks at it. It's just dirt. Did you know that a tablespoon of of soil has more microorganisms than people on the planet in one healthy tablespoon of soil?